Hello, welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today you're going to see how to plan step by step and customized wardrobe like this. We can also click here on the eye on the top left corner and draw it with the open fronts. Yeah, then we can also see the interior, and if we click here again, we can also display it with visible fronts. And if we click here again, we have here the closed doors again. So yeah, let's start a new project. Therefore, we click here on the File tab, and here we start a new project. So first of all, that is now the default cabinet in a default room. If we click here, we can turn off the room, and here we can turn on the smart links, the dimension, and so on. Yeah, for planning with TrunCAD, we need to have the smart links and dimension. That's why we turn them on. All right. So first of all, we have the height of the cabinet. The height of the cabinet is here 2500. Confirming it with enter. And what we don't need to have the green arrows. Yeah, I mean, we can use them to drag and drop on it. But most of the time we are faster if we just use the dimensions. That's why we click here on eye again and turn off the green arrows. So, and we are continuing with our cabinet. Yeah, if you need to, you can also change the dimension of the room. Yeah, here in this case, it's already our finish width of the middle wall. Yeah, if we click here, we can also change the room depth on the right. So I just type in here 2300, confirming it with enter, then the wall is getting bigger. So yeah, let's continue with our cabinet. So we change here the width to 3900, confirming it with enter. And later on, I show you how to divide this. Yeah, in this case, we have here one cabinet, and we continuing with our trims. So we want to have here a trim on the left and right and top side, and therefore we need to activate them here. And we just click here on the left. Yeah, you see the trim is automatically coming, and we have here a gap, which is the same size of the width, which the width is. So we want to have it here on the right side again. So we just activate them, and on the top as well. Yeah, what is also important to know and to consider that the trim belong to the dimension of the cabinet. So just in this case here, the height is getting smaller. So yeah, because the height keeps the same. All right, if we have done this, yeah, we can here also decide the offset. Yeah, here we have 2 millimeters. That is fine. If you want to use here the automatic function flush to front, we can also make it flush to front. But here we want to have an offset of 2. That's all right. And we can continue. We are going from the cabinet tab to the division tab. And here we want to have 3 verticals. And if we click here on the drop-down menu, you can decide shall the verticals pass through top or bottom or not. So here they are passing through top. That is all right. If you don't want to have this, you just click on the drop-down menu and you turn off this, and then the vertical is not passing through top. Yeah. Also, you can do it if you want to have single cabinets. You can also activate your double middle side. Yeah, then you see for the software as one cabinet. Yeah, but in reality, we would have in this case four single cabinets. So, but in our case, we just want to have a single vertical. That is all right. And then we are continuing with our horizontals, and therefore we drag and drop here one horizontal in here. And you see we have now a top and a bottom area, and they are related in relation one to each other. And to change the relation, we can use here the dimension of the top or bottom area, or we can also go in the area, and every area has here on the top left corner a green smart click. Sometimes if it's not appearing like this, you just click on any dimension and confirming it with enter again, then the smart clicks are appearing. Now you see here every area has here on the top left corner a green smart click, but here you see we have three smart clicks, and this is because we have here the area for the whole cabinet. Then we have the area for the left side, and here for the left top area. So in this case, we want to have this area. We click on here and we change the height of the cabinet to 400 millimeter. So we want to have this for every area. So we can also drag it in, click here and change the height to 400. But we can also use the copy paste function. Therefore, we just select here the area which we want to copy. We click on here, click on the copy button, click here on the smart click for the area where we want to paste it. Click on here and we click on paste, and here we are. So I will keep the right area empty because the middle right and the right area, they will be the same. On the end, we will copy the whole interior also in here. So, but for now, we are continuing with our division. So we have here in the two middle areas, one more horizontal, and here in the middle left area, we have one more vertical. So, and here we want to change the width of this vertical, and it should be here. Yeah, if you click here on this smart click, then here we can't change the height. It's just the width displayed, and the width should be 400. We're confirming it with enter. So that is now 400. And here we want to shorten this horizontal, and therefore we do need to have the arrows, the green arrows, and we click on the eye and activate also the green arrow. Then we keep the shift button pressed and we click on this horizontal, and here you see we get four more arrows displayed, and we can drag and drop on them. So, and here we can change the distance to 400, Yeah, then we get the gap here. Yeah, if you want to have here a little overlap, then you can also type in 399 if you want. Yeah, then we have here a little overlap. All right, then we have done this, and now we are done with the division. Yeah, here this top and bottom area, they have the same relation. That is all right. So we can go now from the division tab to the interior tab. And here we always go from left to right. Yeah, we start with a room, continue with a cabinet and division. Now we are here on the interior tab. And in the interior tab, we also start with adjustable shelves. So we want to start here with 5 shelves for the left area. And for the next area, we want to have here 2 shelves in here. So if we have done this, we continue with the interior drawers. So here we want to have 4 interior drawers, and here we choose the hardware. So I choose here the Movento. So we can, if we have here 4, we can change the height. If you have a specific height, you type it in. If we drag and drop here 4 in it, then you see it like this. And you see we don't have here a distance, so we should define here a distance to top, yeah, of like 25. So we can either click here on the undo button, or we go here in the smart click and we click on the delete to delete it. Yeah, and now we have here a distance to top, and drag it and drop it again. And then we have here a distance of 2.5 centimeters, which is 25 millimeters. And you see the drawers, they are related in relation 1 to each other. But here we can also click on the smart click and change here the height to 2, confirming it with enter. And now they are related in relation 1 to 2 to 1 to each other. But here on the bottom, we also want to have 2. And now they are related in relation 1 to 2 to 2 to each other. So we don't need to have the green arrows anymore. That's why we click here on the eye again and turn them off. And if you want to change here also the material for the drawers, you click on the material tab. Here you choose the thickness. Yeah, and then you click here all parts of group, and you can drag it and drop it on here, and also on the bottom panel is a different group. So, but now we are fine. And if we have set it up the interior drawers, we go to the close rails. Here we just want to have 1. Here you define the distance to top, and here choose also the hardware, and then you just drag it and drop it in the area where you want to have it. We want to have it here in the top area, and here also on the bottom right area. And yeah, now we are also well done with the interior tab, yeah, we can, to finish here this, we can also click on the middle right area, click on here and choose the copy function, click here on the right area and paste it in here. And then we get exactly the same how we want to have it. So yeah, now we are almost done. We are going now to the front tab, and here we want to have the double door. Here you can also choose hinges which you want to use, and you drag it and drop it in the area where you want to have it. Here you see in the preview, you can choose a single area. If you go on a divider, you get automatically the bigger area. Yeah, so we need to drop it on the top vertical. Yeah, because it's a bigger area. You see it here on the smart clicks. Yeah, we have here the top area and here's the whole bottom area. And this is a smart click for the whole area. Yeah, and that's why we need to drop it here on the top vertical. So, and if you want to change the setting for the handles, you go here on the drop-down menu for the handles. You see here the vertical are activated. And here, if you change the distance of the drillings for the handles, then also the size of the handles are getting changed. And if you also want to change the material, you click here also on material and you can drag and drop the texture of the handles and they are also changed. All right, now we are well done. Then you can click on the eye, turn off the smart clicks, turn on the room if you want. And you can present it to your customer. If you click here on eye again, you can also draw the project with open fronts. Yeah, that the customer also can see the interior. And if you want, if you click here again, you can also show it with visible fronts. All right. And last but not least, if you click here on the top right corner, data export, you can also load the cutting list. So now the cutting list is loaded, and here you can also choose your layout. Yeah, you can also define your own layout. Therefore, you click here on the Help tab. So if you click here on the Help tab and click here on Free Tutorial, then you get a link to our online academy. If you click here on the Start our webinars, you see here the webinars are uploaded. So I also recommend to go through this webinars and for example here you see the webinar also how to set up your individual cutting list. Yeah, so I really recommend to scroll through the starter webinars. Yeah, you see here also how to use the library, yeah, or how to make an L-shape wardrobe or bench corner. Yeah, you see here different projects, and here you see also the setting of the handles. Yeah, I think you will have advantage to watch this. Yeah, to pick the most interesting webinars for you. And yeah, then I'm looking forward to the next time. And yeah, take care and have a lots of fun planning with TrunCAD. So see you next time. Bye bye.